All right, here's a great little example of creating a in-place family and using our work plane viewer. So what are we on here? We're on our entry level furniture layout. So it doesn't really matter what level we're on, but get onto a floor plan. I'm on my ground floor and I'm going to zoom into this area here. And all I really want to do is create a reception desk here. And I want it to be about 270-degree circle with an opening in the back for, access. And I want to have a nice kind of cool profile. So basically like more or less a big sweep, kind of a donut with a chunk cut out of it. So if you could picture a circular reception area with a circular interior and then an opening kind of tapered over here. So that's what we want to create. So it's going to be an in-place family. It's not going to be really detailed, but it's just an example of using both in-place families and our work plane viewer. So I'm just in a regular floor plan here and I start off with my component tool and I say I'm going to create model in place, which is an in-place family. I'm going to put it under the category furniture, so it'll follow my furniture display settings, etc. So I hit OK. I can give it a name inside of here, reception 1, and hit OK. So now I'm in the family editor and in place family, and I can create an extrusion or a sweep or whatever I want. I can create voids. I'm just using the family editor. So what I want here is going to be a sweep. The path is going to be a kind of an arc, and the profile is going to be the profile of my reception counter. So I'm going to create a solid sweep. So I click on here. Now I'm ready to start to draw. So I say, okay, I'm going to click out and zoom out a little bit. So first I'm going to do the path, which they force you to do, and then you do the profile. So the path is going to be on my first floor. Now you have to think, I'm on level 1. Okay, if I go set right now, look, my current work plane is level 1, which is fine, entry level, not changing anything there. So all I'm going to do is go ahead and create my path. So I say, okay, sketch the path. Now I could call up my viewer right now if I wanted to. Wouldn't make any difference. I'm going to leave myself the sketching space and say sketch, not pick path, although I could. I'm going to sketch the path. And I'm going to use a center arc circle. So I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to actually draw it kind of over here just so I get a proportional for scale. So I'm going to say, okay, here's the center of my circle, click, and now I'll say, okay, I'm going to start it about, radius of about 1.5 meters because that'll be the center of the profile, and I'll start to work my way around. Now the first thing you'll notice is that it won't let you create a circle that's more than 180 degrees. It flips you. So all I'm going to do is just stop here. Now notice the green and red dot, the green line. That's going to show us where our work plane is that we're going to have to draw the profile on. So this is where this viewer comes in really handy. So all I'm going to do is pick anywhere here. Pick. And then I'm going to hit escape once and escape again. Now what I need to do first of all has nothing to do with my work plane. It's I need to pull this guy around. So I can say, okay, that's about, and now I can take all of this if I want and nudge this over into the middle of my space now. Okay, so the first thing to note is that this is where I'm going to have to draw the profile, and you can see that's a really skewed angle. Now I can pick on this and move it. I can actually drag it here. I can drag it here. That's where I'm going to have to sketch the profile. Clicking out. Okay, so I'm done my path, and I can take this and I can put it wherever I want. It's either at the end or midpoint of a segment, picking out. So that's really it for the path. So I say, okay, here, finish the path. Okay, now I need to do the profile. You'll notice that it shows it black, and there's my little axis. Now watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to zoom out a bit, and now I'm going to pick on my work plane viewer. Opens up my work plane viewer window, and by default it goes perpendicular to the current work plane, which is the flat one. Now I'm going to zoom in a bit closer. Now watch what happens when I start to actually edit the profile. If I go back in here and I say select profile, which enables me to say edit profile, okay, it's going to ask me, because I'm in this view, it's going to ask me to switch to a view, but none of these views are really going to be any good. But I can go, okay, sure, I'll just pick, east elevation is giving me the option. So it's going to give me an east elevation over here. Oops, escape, And the thing is, this isn't really the view I want. Okay, so if I pick on here and I go shift middle mouse button, okay, move around, okay, what I really need is the home view of my current work plane. Okay, so what I'm going to do is while I'm inside of here, I'm just going to go up to here and hit the home button. And what it's going to do is it's going to give me an exact perpendicular view of that sketch plane that I need to draw my profile on. Okay, so from there, the view cube isn't exactly square, but it's perpendicular to here. So watch, now I can start to draw. So I say, okay, I'm going to draw my lines. I'm going to say, okay, well, here's my reception counter. This is going to, I can make this point anywhere, but I'm going to say it's the center of it and it gets drawn here. So I start here and I go over and I go, okay, I'm going to go about, about 400 and something millimeters. Maybe a little more. Okay, then I'm going to do the kick plate, the toe space, 100 by 100, about 4 inches by 4 inches. I'm using metric here, and then I can work my way up and create different shapes, and I can taper this and do whatever I want with it. Bring this reception counter over, and then I can resize redo the size a little bit later. Bring it down, bring it over, line that up, over to here, escape. So now I'm sketching this, and you can see what's going on here is really tricky. This is the problem with this view. It's hard to get a decent view over here. There is ways, but this way I'm getting a perfectly perpendicular view. Now watch, if I shift middle mouse button in here, look where I am. Okay, I actually was at the opposite end. Okay, now I need to flip this. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to go home. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I want to go to the other side. I guess what I'm going to do is just mirror this. I'm going to take all of this. I'm going to say mirror. I'm not going to do a copy. I'm mirroring it about this point. Click it over there. Okay, because I realize I'm looking through the other side. Once again, shift middle mouse button. There we go. So that's more of the shape that I want to have, and I can add some rounds, and I can edit this from inside of here. I can go in here and start to work with this and stuff. Okay, and fancy this up, basically working with my sketch. Okay, so you can go in here and do your normal sketching with this stuff on this reception area and add some lighting and stuff inside of there. Oops. And then when you're done, watch what happens. You go up here and you say, okay, finish that profile. Okay, now I'm done here. And then I say finish the sweep. Click out. Okay, then I can say finish the family. Click out. Okay. And now because I'm not back in that work plane, I'm going to go pick over here again. I don't know, I'm not sure. I switched to an elevational view. Let's go back to my first floor here, and my 3D viewer will automatically reset, okay, because of the work plane. Pick on this guy, shift middle mouse button. Now I'm back down inside of here, and I can see that nice reception desk that I created. Anytime I want, I can say go back in here, edit in place, pick on this in place family, say edit the sweep. Okay, now when I go in, watch, when I say select profile, as soon as I say edit profile, click, what's it going to do? It's automatically going to move me to that work plane. Now flipping this around 180 degrees is what I want to do right here, and will it let me do that? That's the question. Well, can I get that view cube to look any bigger? Because what I want to do is I want to rotate around 180 degrees from this. Because that's, oh, did that work? Do it again. There we go. So you can click on these to rotate, but I'm not convinced this is flat on that. Okay, let's go hit the home button again. It's flipping me around the other side, and it must be the way the direction in which I sketched the path. It's looking back at this point. Okay, So what happens if we take this and say, can I move this to another point? No, I can't do that at this point. I've already sketched my lines. If you actually sketch your lines or delete them, you can relocate this origin point. So we can click out here anytime, or we can say finish. And there is our, now notice again, it resets the work plane every time because now I'm back onto my level 1 work plane, and finish again. So click on here, select it, back and forth. So my work plane viewer showing objects only associated to the current level. But notice I'm still in the family editor, so everything's grayed out. So you can see this is really handy for editing families because the only thing selectable in this viewer right now is this desk because I'm editing it. It's fantastic. Then you can pick on here and go back in and edit it and do all your good stuff inside of here. Edit either the path. If you edit the path, guess what happens? It switches you back to be perpendicular to that path. Okay, if you finish and you say edit the sketch or edit the profile, sketch profile, click, it's going to switch you over to that. The only problem is it's that which end of it are you looking at? You don't know, so you almost have to take the time to shift middle mouse and make sure you know which way you're looking at it, and then go back and hit your home button again, and it'll reset it, and then at least now you know which side you're drawing from. Finish the profile and finish the sweep and finish the family, and then once you're out, we're back to whatever it was on the view that we're in over here. So a little tip, hopefully not too confusing, on using the work plane viewer with an in-place sweep family.